Senate Republican Whip, John Thune from South Dakota. Thank you, Senator Thune. I want to just ask you something. I notice in editorials and scuttlebutt and gossip, people are saying, well, Democrats have outwitted Republicans, Schumer has outwitted McConnell, and so forth and so on. But I just wanted to get your thought on this. I mean, yeah, they pulled a rabbit out of the hat, or maybe they already had 1,000 pages. I mean, the ink was barely dry on the CHIPS Plus vote, and then they pull out this reconciliation thing. But something Senator McConnell said to me when I interviewed him in Washington this past Tuesday, he said, you know, the majority leader controls the agenda. And then he went on to say how it's much better to be, what did he say? He said, I've been minority leader and majority leader, and I'd rather be majority leader. I mean, in a sense, you all were powerless, weren't you? What exactly were you supposed to do? If Schumer's going to do it, he's going to do it, isn't he?
Yeah, that's right, Larry. And by the way, I just enjoyed listening to you riff. You should have just kept going there, right? You were kind of speaking my language. But, you know, the truth is, that's why elections matter. These guys run all of government. They have unified control of government. They have the House, the Senate, and the White House. And if they can cobble together 51 votes, they can do anything they want. And what they just proved is that they could get Joe Manchin on board with something. And I think he thought he was getting something out of this. But I think what he found is he's going to find out at least. It's going to be a lot of pain and not much to show for it on his end, because I don't think the Democrats in the executive branch of the government will ever follow through on some of the things that they probably promised him. But that being said, this is a disaster for the economy, as you already pointed out, on top of the disaster that's already been created by their policies, whether it's energy policy, border policy, spending, you go right down the list. And you know, clearly, when you have the majority, these are the things you can do, which is why we've got to get the majority back. Actually,
let me play the sound from the McConnell interview. All right, just hang on one second. I think you'll probably enjoy this. Here's Mitch McConnell talking to me last Tuesday in Washington.
We don't get to set the agenda. That's what the majority gets to do. And we are fighting them tooth and nail.
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't know who lied to whom, okay? Maybe Schumer lied. I don't know. I can't verify that. But at a certain point in time, there ain't much you can do. Now, I have another sound. This one bothers me even more. This is Joe Manchin speaking to a hometown newspaper or radio show about waiting on some inflation numbers before he made a decision. Take a listen to this, Senator Thune.
I said, Chuck, until we see the July inflation figures, until we see the July Federal Reserve rates, interest rates, then let's wait until that comes out so we know that we're going down a path that won't be inflammatory to add more to inflation.
So, Senator Thune, a lot of us, you know, took him at face value, maybe thought he was being pretty clever because he wanted to kill the bill, and by the time he got around to the August CPI, which would be in the middle of the month, you all would be home on summer recess. What happened to that? He didn't really wait for the July inflation numbers. How do you figure that, sir?
Well, I mean, I don't think you could ever count on what I've been kind of trying to convey to my Republican colleagues in the Senate, Larry, is the reconciliation vehicle is available to the Democrats until September 30th of this year. And until the clock struck midnight on September 30th, you could never count out the possibility that the Democrats would figure out a way to grow and expand government, to raise taxes, because that's what Democrats do when they're in power. And, you know, Senator McConnell's point is absolutely right. I mean, we got to play the hand we're dealt right now. And I think a lot of people had hoped that there would be some help from a couple of Democrats to prevent what I think would be a catastrophic taxing and spending piece of legislation that would make matters much worse than they already are, which is hard to envision, I think, for most Americans. But that's what we got to do now. We got to do everything we can to try and stop this thing, try and derail it. So when it does come up, if they get their act together, and I assume they will, because they've got Manchin on board now, we're going to have a big vote with lots of amendments. And I'm hoping we can get some amendments on there that Democrats will vote for that might ultimately sink this bill. That's what we have to hope for now. But again, you cannot, whenever there's an opportunity available for Democrats in Washington to grow and expand government, they are going to do it, because that's what they do when they have power.
Yeah, I mean, that, you know, the business about larger and more powerful government versus limited government. That's kind of a lost thought, but I'm thinking we need to bring that thought back because that makes life a lot easier. You don't have to get into the, it's just real simple. Bigger government, vote against it. Limited government, vote in favor of it. That's what old Murray Wiedenbaum, the late Murray Wiedenbaum, used to always say back in the Reagan days. Don't just stand there. Let's undo something. Senator, so I thought it was common sense that if you're in a recession, you don't want to raise taxes, or if you're in a high inflation, you don't want to raise spending. I mean, I just thought that wasn't, you know, Keynesian supply-siders, liberals and conservatives agree with that. But apparently there is no common sense here.
No, I think that's right. And whatever school of economic thought the Democrats in Washington are attending, it is about consolidating power in Washington. And, you know, to your point, and I go to the same school you do, distributed power, limited government, you know, effective government, but keep from growing government in Washington, D.C. That's what they attempt to do with this. And, you know, to think that at a time when you've got a record 40-year high inflation, 9% inflation, you got an economy that's wobbly, and of course now we've seen consecutive quarters of negative economic growth, that you would want to pile on more spending and more taxes on top of that. It just defies common sense. And I hope that they pay a political price for it, because I think the American people get this. I think they have figured this out, and they understand why they're paying 9% of inflation and why they're going to pay $9,000 more this year as a family than they paid last year for the same basic necessities. That is a huge tax on every American, and we've got to change it at the ballot box in November. And I hope that the Democrats' overreach here enables us to do that.
Yeah, I don't think the country's with the Dems on this. I mean, I'd ask you if you can beat the reconciliation bill, but I think that's a pretty tall order. I think you're telling me today that the next big vote is November. Is that basically your point of view?
Well, I'm not giving up hope. Believe me, I count votes in the Senate. I think, Larry, and we're going to do everything we can to tank it. But not just because of the politics of what this means in November, but for the country, crying out loud. But we do have a big vote in November, and the only way ultimately to change the direction of the country away from the trend that we're seeing right now is we've got to flip the majority in the Congress.
All right, we'll leave it there. Senator John Thune, thank you, sir. Have a wonderful weekend. Appreciate it.